Dear Journal, I finally got a new car. Just kidding, I couldn't afford this. This is just a good old geocache in the car in the middle of the woods scenario. I'm up at the Sourland Mountain Preserve in New Jersey again, and I had the whole day to find some of the many geocaches that reside here. As a bonus, I have Steve with me. Despite the fact that he thinks geocaching is kind of stupid, he does enjoy a good hike, and I certainly welcome the extra pair of eyes that come with the friendship. I would never bash his head in with a rock while he was trying to start a fire. No. Any road, it may have mountain in the title, but the Sourland Mountain Preserve is more of a big hill with, like I said, lots of geocaches. I was hoping to break my personal record of 16 caches in one day. One of the closest ones to parking here is called Dude, Where's My Corvair? I was expecting a magnetic key holder and pleasantly surprised by a bison in a pipe. Of course, a bison tube leads to a microlog, which leads to a microlog roll-up, and after I signed my name, Steve was able to witness firsthand my preparedness for these scenarios. Cool for this.
Fucking nerdbag, Christ. I got a hair clip in my pocket, boy.
Fuck you. Fuck you. This is fucking genius, you shitbox. Obviously, I'm not the first person to use a hairpin to roll those logs up tight, but Steve doesn't need to know that. Overall, my goal was to traverse this pipeline path that cuts right through the preserve, over the mountain/hill, and get the furthest cache from the parking lot, and then everything else would be downhill, literally, from there. On the way up, we came across one of the oldest caches, I think, in New Jersey, from 2001. It still has the original logbook. In retrospect, I should have actually read some of it instead of pretending to read it here for the camera. I do remember seeing that a few people wrote that they were tired. It's just that I was so focused on the numbers, I just sped by this piece of history. Well, I refused to learn a lesson from this. Soon, we were at this point where uphill wasn't a word we had to use. I'd like to take this time to record and convey the atmosphere of where we were. Bitter, cold, no green in sight, no people or animals. The perfect place to kill someone from behind. No, sorry. Soon, we were on the top, as it were, and we found ourselves in an area that led to some automotive deja vu. Dear Journal, it is 12:30. What is it with geocaches and their ability to find cars in the middle of the woods? Top of the Sourlands to you! That's the name of this cache. And the guy that doesn't think geocaching is cool finds a geocache. It's underneath.
Yeah, it's right there.
What are you doing? Pissing?
Yeah. You need a video? Right here.
Hey, wait, you mean of me, not of you pissing?
Oh, no. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know what...
There's the dork. I only accompany him. Even though I'm a better finder than he is.
You know, I just edited...
Hey, that's my stick!
How depressingly mundane. Bobbers. And the fart gel. Don't film my dick. That's the golden rule.
Why would I film your dick?
So that when I look back...
Too small to film anyway.
I wrote for my Wiccan protection spell.
Oh my fucking gay.
Obtain a piece of new pure white fabric, cotton, or linen. A man's handkerchief is a good source. At new moon, measure 3 cups of water and a pinch of salt into a pan. Boil the fabric for 9 minutes. Let it dry. With your own hands, sew it into a pouch or envelope. Remove the pentacle above and put it into the envelope. Each morning, attach the envelope to your undergarment so that the pentacle faces outward like a seal. None shall pass.
Well, now I had to film your dick, dude.
I hope you weren't thinking about my penis journal, because now we're in a cemetery. They say every gravestone tells a story, but I don't care. I want that cache hidden in the nearby bushes. Actually, that's Steven there, who volunteered for some unknown reason to crawl through the damp thorns. Actually, Steve was having his fair share of finding them first today, only because he was walking in front of me. And not long ago at all, in a previous entry, I was pondering, is it really a find if you're in a group, and not the one in the group making the actual find? Should I log it online as I found it, when actually it was Steve? Well, you're goddamn right I am. Let me explain the mental gymnastics for this. Steve doesn't have a geocaching account. He doesn't care what happens online. But see, he's with me. And I would argue with the Geocaching Supreme Council that since we are not two people logging one find, that Steve is in fact a tool. My tool. Like a flashlight or tweezers, I use Steve to help me geocache. Boom! I log the find. Good job, Brain.
Can't wait to see what he's doing behind me. He's sharpening his stick on a tombstone. Lovely. That's my pal Steve.
Well, between the Wiccan spell and now this, I can't imagine too many religious people finishing this journal entry. I am what I am, journal. Anyway, we are 9 for 9 so far, and the spirits are high. Not a cemetery joke. We're heading back to the main area of the park. I've made a very specific decision to skip certain caches to save time. The paths, they twist and turn and intersect, and in our journey, I noticed a place that has no cache, but really deserves one.
Maybe I'm delirious as well from not eating really anything but Slim Jims today. But rock! I've never been aroused by a rock before, but this is a good start.
It's a woman though, that looks like a vagina down there. Look, that's a vagina!
Just think of the wordplay you could do with an ass crack cache. Now, geocaching is a family-friendly site, so I thought of some family-friendly titles. Cheeky Hide, Crack Addict, but anyway, Old Spanky, Medusa Caboose. The top name to come out of it all in the old geocaching subreddit is Rock Bottom. I mean, come on now. Alright, I'll stop, but speaking of wordplay, I gotta jump into the next interesting cache in our travels called Very Handsome.
Very handsome. It's a hand! Very handsome. I'm putting on a glove anyway. Stop saying everybody jerked off on all the caches.
No, with that.
With the caches. Okay, good.
Jerked off with the hand.
No.
Ew.
Come on, Steve. Ah.
Journal, I hope you weren't thinking of Steve's penis now, because we're in another cemetery. Just kidding. There was even more wordplay to come by the same cache owner a little further down. Heyo, it's a cache made out of a head underneath a pot. How can you not get a chuckle out of that? That's it, Journal. I mean, I know it seems like I'm cutting things short, but I'm not. There's nothing else that really stood out for the rest of our trek. No injuries or interruptions, we were just on a roll. There were caches of varying degrees of difficulty, and they formed a mini power trail using the main routes of the preserve, and surprisingly, my planned route worked out to deliver us back to the parking right at sundown. At the end of the day, we racked up 9.6 miles and a grand total of 20 caches found for 7 hours. There are still a few caches about at the Sourland Mountain Preserve, so we shall meet again. We shall meet again.
That motherfucker, I could be back here bleeding and shit, and he's not even looking. Yeah. It's terrible, I tell ya.